coming.
Oh, no,
Good
no
to see
problem.
you
No
again.
problem.
Good to see you. How have you been?
I did it again.
Okay. All right. So let's just first start off. We're talking about what we talked about the last time we met. Just to review a little bit. The last time we met, you talked about how you thought maybe your using was affecting your job a little, and maybe even your social life and your family.
Yes.
So let me just ask you, have you been continuing to keep the journal that you had been previously?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I have.
So starting off with that, have you noticed anything different as you've been journaling?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me what's going on with that. What's been
When
going
I
on with
started
you?
my journal, it started off when I first started putting things in, I was putting down how much I was drinking every day. And then it got to the point where I started counting all the alcohol that I was, taking. I noticed that I would drink when I get off from work, and then wouldn't be able to, when I would get up from work, I would be irritated because I didn't feel like getting out of bed, and I knew that I needed to go to work, so I had to pay my bills. Then my kids, I had to get them ready, and I found myself, rushing them to get ready in the morning, and I felt like the alcohol was overcoming that because that was something that I should have been doing when I got home from work instead of sitting there wanting to drink alcohol instead of preparing for my children's next day. I was putting it on them the next day, and I realized that when I do that to them, it makes them go to school and have an attitude when they get to school. Then I have to get the call from the teacher that they're not paying attention in class, and I get angry at them, where I started to realize that it's really my own fault, because if I was to come home and do what I had to do, we wouldn't have that problem anymore.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what I'm hearing you saying is that you are now noticing that your using has affected many areas of your life.
Yes.
Your children, your job,
Yes.
your family,
Yes.
things that you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Okay, so where are you as far as, last time we met, you kind of said you were like not real sure if you had a problem.
Yes.
So where are you now with what you just explained to me?
I noticed that I had a problem once I started getting phone calls from my children's schools. Every time that like I said, if I didn't prepare for them the night before, if I wanted to, I would come home, and they basically would be sitting there doing their homework by themselves, and I was to the point where, okay, I'm gonna help you in a minute after I get done drinking me a beer, and next thing I know, it's late, it's time for us to go to bed. So when they get up in the morning, they go to school, it's like, I don't even know if their homework is right. They go to school, I get the call from the teacher saying they didn't turn their homework in because I wasn't being responsible, checking their homework to make sure that their homework was done. And when I started getting phone calls from the school, I think that really made me realize that it's a problem.
Thanks, Pat. I
You're welcome.
appreciate you being so honest with me and
You're
sharing
welcome.
that information. So are you admitting that you do have a problem?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So then let's take a look at, since you've been coming here and you're here today, what we can do to maybe get on a journey of getting some help for that problem. So are you aware of AA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous?
I know a little bit about AA, but it's to the point where I'm starting to realize that that's probably where I need to be, because when you look at AA, I always sit there and say, that's not me, that's not me. I thought for a long time that I didn't have a problem. Like I said, when it was brought to my attention, it took for my kids' school to really make me feel like, oh, she has a problem. So,
Okay. All right. So are you willing to possibly start doing a few meetings a week, maybe 3 meetings a week?
yes, you are.
Okay, and if you are you willing to also get a note sign just saying that you were there,
Yes.
just to like help you, just to be able to look back and say, look, I did these meetings,
Yes.
and then come here and we can share and talk about that. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, are you also, when you go to these meetings, there is lots of information that they have at these meetings. And there's information in pamphlet form, meaning that it's written, and there's information that you'll be able to share about you. So I advise you or suggest to you, that you pick up some of those pamphlets just to take a look at, who is an alcoholic and why are you here.
I have a question. When you go to, I heard a little bit about those meetings, and my biggest fear about going to the meetings, do I have to get up and like stand up, like you watch stuff on TV and people stand up and say yes, I'm alcoholic. I'm not to that point where I'm ready. I can admit it to myself, but I don't know if I'm ready to admit that in front of a lot of people.
Very
right
good
now.
question, Kat. My next question to you was, did you have questions that might concern?
Yes.
So that question is no. You stand up when you feel comfortable enough to do so. And I think once you go and start being involved in the meetings,
Yes.
then what can happen is you will eventually feel comfortable enough to stand up and share, yes, I am an alcoholic, yes, this is what's going on with me. But while we're talking about, information that you need, is there any other information that you could possibly need based on, you're using and information about alcoholism and information that I can share with you about what this program has to offer or any other outside agencies, because there are many in our area.
Another thing is maybe I was thinking maybe if there was, we're doing the AA meetings, maybe if there's something they can offer about parenting to help me be a better parent to my kids, because now that I am willing to take this step, and I know it's going to be a change for me, and I know being around my kids, I'm going to be probably a different person because they're always used to me sitting in a room drinking my alcohol, and now it's almost like now I have to be a parent to them, and I don't want to approach them the wrong way. If you know what I mean, do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I thank you again for sharing. We here at our agency have a program that also I'll be able to put you into a parenting program here,
Okay.
along with your, you go into AA to get some meetings in, to get some information about your disease.
Okay.
And I said the word disease, and this is the first time you've heard that. And have you heard that alcoholism is a disease?
I heard a little bit, but I have a problem with that being a disease because, like I said, I'm just starting to realize that I am an alcoholic. So it's like when you say disease, you think about stuff like cancer and, so it's like kind of hard when you say disease because it's like, it seems to me it could be like a man over matter thing, but like I said, I'm willing to do whatever I have to do because right now in my life, I really need to let the alcohol out of my life.
Okay. And you'll learn more as you go to this meeting. Okay, let's talk about the next time we meet. If it's okay with you, can we possibly meet same time next week?
Yes.
Okay, and during that time, when you come back, let's set a goal of decreasing the frequency of your using alcohol. Can you work on that
Yes,
as a goal?
Yes, I can.
Okay, and then when you come back next week, then we'll discuss where you are as part of your journal, and then you'll be able to see the decreasing amount of, consumption that you've done, or increase, whatever that might be. And we'll also be able to talk about your journal a little bit more. And if there's other questions that you have, please feel free to give me a call, leave me a message, or bring them back to you when you come back for the session next week. Okay, so let's just go back real quick. You're okay right now with everything we've talked about?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you understand that you agree to go to at least 3 meetings a week?
Yes.
Get your notes signed, to say you were there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, as well as picking up some informational pamphlets?
Yes.
All right, and also, I will let you know when the parenting class starts here. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank
You have something else?
No, I have to say one more question.
Sure.
Do they have anything like child care or anything like that?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, and I apologize for that.
Okay.
When you do your parenting classes
Okay.
here, we also will be able to take and do child care for your children when they come. So that way you get the attention you need, they get the attention they need,
Okay.
and then eventually you incorporate both of you together in one group.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
All right. Thanks. Nice
I'll
seeing
see you
again.
next week.
Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
I use the person and environment for Kat to use the resources in the community. One being the daycare and the parenting classes here at our organization, the AANA meetings in the community, as well as information that I gave her concerning her sobriety and her using.